Morning everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone is doing well. So you join us here today where we're going to be renovating this lawn in time for autumn. As you can see, it's pretty much a lawn of nothing. There's a few grass, lots of bald patches, and yeah, quite a lot of shaded areas, mainly due to the fact of these two trees up here. So we're going to be cutting this quite short, scalping it, and then we're going to scarify, aerate, top dress and put our seed down. So tools of choice today is obviously our mower, which we'll be scalping. We're using our scarifier, and we are using the hollow tine aerator. So what we're going to do now is we are going to scalp the lawn with our mower, just so we get a really fine finish on it. Funny little things. Up there. Up there. See, we've now cut the lawn quite short. Bearing in mind we gave this a cut on Friday, and this has still picked up loads of pine needles and debris that was on the lawn that's obviously fallen over the weekend, mainly from that tree there. So now we're going to scarify. That's the first pass done with the scarifier. Kai's been around and he's starting to rake up into piles, just make things easy to pick up. And as you can see, it's pulled out all the nasty stuff, all the thatch, pine needles that have sort of settled in underneath it. Yeah, just all the stuff you don't want in your lawns. So we're going to go over this a couple of times now, pick all this up, and the rule of thumb is, the worse it looks, the better it's going to be. So now we've done our first pass. Kai's going to go left to right now and do the second pass, and then what we'll end up doing is third pass from this corner to this corner, fourth pass from this corner to this corner, just so we get a real good coverage and make sure that we're getting out all the rubbish. So here we go. We have now done 2 passes, left to right and up and down. And as you can see, it has pulled out quite a lot of the rubbish. So this is exactly what we want. We're probably going to go over it one more time just to get rid of the last little scraggly bits. This lower section here probably doesn't need it. As you can see, it is just dust. This is just mud here. There's nothing in it. Same as that corner. So now we'll probably go from here up to the corner and down. So we're going to give that one last pass. So now we've done all our scarification, we've done a few passes on it, we're now going to use the hollow tine aerator to dig out our cores. As mentioned before, it's going to let all our material into those holes, add aeration into the compacted soil, so let's get to it. So what that has now allowed us to do is take out these plugs from the ground. To be fair, it's quite good topsoil here. If it was heavy clay, that would help with the aeration. So what happens now is we go around, we finish raking up all the plugs, and then with the holes it allows the pre-seed fertilizer and the seed to sort of sit into the holes as well as add in that aeration. Cut to Kai raking. So what we're going to do here is put our topsoil into our compost roller, which will finally spread it out across the lawn rather than having big piles to move. This is a really good compost because there is absolutely no sticks, no stones, nothing in this. So you can see behind me it's literally just spreading this out. So all our products that we're using today are supplied by a good friend of ours, David, who owns and runs Pristine Lawn Care. So he provides all our fertilizer, he's provided all this topsoil. I'll put his website in the comments below and you can order from him. So then what we'll do after we've spreaded this is just try and get all the lumps and bumps out of this, just where maybe a little bit too much has fallen out of the roller. We will then basically I'll scatter the seed like I did in the video a couple of weeks ago now. I always find it just easier to do it by hand. Obviously you can use a spread if you're using a larger area or if you're in a larger area, but I find that this works quite well doing it my way. So now we've got all our top dressing down, I'm going to be adding the Superstar pre-seed fertilizer from Pristine Lawn Care. So with this we can use it between now and October, and it helps control the release of nutrients over the winter period, and the extra potassium will increase cold tolerance and disease resistance. So yeah, going to get this spread, going to do it by hand, mainly because I forgot my little spreader, but I still get a good coverage, same as like I did in the other job that we did a couple of weeks ago. Just do it by hand, you can still get a good coverage. So now what we're going to do is spread our PM51 seed. This is quite good for shade and for drought because, as I've shown you before, you've got some massive oak trees here and you've also got this large pine. So, I mean, as you can see already, the sun's gone, and yes, so this will help with the drought and also help with the shade. It's funny what you find in the lawn, there's bloody bottle caps. So that is the lawn now covered in our seed. Now what a lot of people do is they get a drag mat and they drag it in. We don't have a drag mat, so we're going to be using a lute, which will basically also level out any bumps that have been left in the lawn. So you can kind of see here, there's a bit of a bump of the soil here, so that will then just spread the soil out with a lute. And then what I'll probably do is just maybe put a few more bags of compost in. I can see an area there, it's a bit short on it, and then maybe a bit more seed and then watering it in. So the most important part of now a new seeded lawn is to keep it moist. You don't want to soak it, but you want to keep it moist, depending on the time of the year, but probably 3, 4, even 7 times a day. Again, you don't want it soaked to drown the seed, but you want enough just to keep the ground moist. So there we have it. This lawn is now done. As I say, we scarified, we aerated, we've put down a pre-seed fertilizer, and we've put down a PM51 seed, which is drought and shade tolerant, because I reckon in about half hour this sun's going to disappear behind the house. So this is going to give it a really good chance. I've given it a water, and I have left the customer I can't remember the name of it, one of them sprinklers. So they will now be able to keep on top of watering. We do the maintenance here, so I'll be back on Friday, and I'm hoping, sorry, not Friday, Friday after, and I'm hoping by then we should see some germination. We get really good results with this seed, so yeah, very happy how this has turned out. So there we go. There's the finished product, so to speak. Everything, as I say, has had a water. So I hope that gives you guys watching a sort of a bit of an insight of how you can renovate your lawn at home. Please, any questions at all, drop us a comment, and I'll be sure to help you out where I can. And as always, don't forget to please like, subscribe, follow, share, the whole shebang. It always helps and supports us. So we're off to do another renovation now, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm off to Grounds Fest to meet a load of guys from here, from YouTube, from Instagram, have a meet up, see what kit's about, new kit that we could probably look at investing in, and then the rest of the week there will be another video which will be, we're doing 3 days solid hedge cutting, and there's some big hedges, so stay tuned and I will see you on the next one. Cheers guys.